Well, hello there, YouTube, and welcome to Tuesday, the 22nd of July. 48 degrees this morning. It's now 58 degrees. I think it's supposed to get up to 80 degrees today, I think, once things get rolling, I reckon. It's awfully cloudy, and just other than birds, it's just really quiet out here. It's actually quite soothing. Swallows still buzzing around like crazy, but they're slowing down. You can tell as the season wanes. Shishi, are you back hiding after them dadgum cherries again out here? Such. You know, it's probably a cat ran through here. Huh? You be a good girl today. Oh, she. Alright, let's roll. Y'all just come right on along. 67 degrees and mostly sunny.
Yes.
We've got somebody parked in our spot again. Don't these people know?
I know. Everybody has this invisible name on it.
Yeah, here's somebody parked right in front of us. They're a big old 75-person Ford van of some sort. Well, Mama, let's go in there and bust her out.
All right.
Get a Tuesday in the books.
All right. Sounds like a plan.
All right, Mama. Have yourself a wonderful day.
You too.
All right, love you. See you. Bye.
I love you.
Bye-bye now. It's a lovely 2021 Ryker rally. It recently had a fuel pump recall performed on it, and ever since then they said that the pump's not accurate, so it passes literally every test they have for it. So I don't know. The one complaint they had was that after you fill it up, it takes a long time to go full. Of course, I'm not going to be able to see any of that. They got stuff in the way, but I have to lean over. I remember my Ryker had, everybody complains about the fuel gauge on Rykers. Best thing to do is just set that trip meter. And roughly, every 150 miles I'd head for gas. But one of the weird things about it is it doesn't read all the fuel. It's like I was saying yesterday, the fuel gauge is similar to, I think other manufacturers use it too, but the one, oh man, she must be light. She's got the suspension set real soft. Is the F700 and 800 BMWs, and the same thing, people complaining about that. They finally learned it and go on with it. But this thing's, it's got almost 8,000 miles on it. So obviously by then you would know how unless they recently purchased it used, that could be a deal. So it didn't. Oh, it's already coming up. There was a cluster update that I had to go back and find. It's an old bulletin. It's like 2 years old, 3 years old. It was for 19 through 22s. So it came out in 22, I'm pretty sure. But I think it had something to do with fuel gauge accuracy was one of the things. I did a quick search for it, but my search came, not found. So I need to find the bulletin number on it. And we did it in May. Are you going to wait for me, or are you going to pull out and scare me here at the last second? To find out the details of it. The last one I did had got that air box rattle. But I was thinking about the airbox and lost it. I just don't remember all the details of that bulletin. Yeah, it's reading full. Just sitting there on my bench, it wouldn't go full. So what I did to it, you know, I test, you know, the bobber when it's high and low, and there's resistance for high and low, well within specs. The pump is absolutely working, or the level gauge part of the pump. And so then I siphoned all the fuel out into a fresh can, actually a brand new can. It was only used to get non-ethanol fuel for a couple of BMWs, and it was emptied each time. So there's no ethanol in there to suck moisture out of the air. I mean, it was just bone dry. But so I drained out what you had in there. It was 3 gallons. So I put, you know, so I set it and it had enough that it would run. Fired it, because if you just turn the bike on, the gauge doesn't react. It's fired up, let it idle, and it goes doom, 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 boom, and then the fuel light came on, and it says, you know, low fuel, keeps flashing on the thing. So I put that 3 gallons back in, went upstairs, got about 2.5 gallons, and I topped it off. You know, it's got the filler tube in there. You don't want to exceed the height of that tube, so I filled it till it was just touching that tube. But so the fuel gauge immediately went up at, basically it's like 2/3, just a little past, you know, halfway, and that's because the pump can read that. But just sitting there idling, it wouldn't adjust. I don't know why. When I just took off, it just kept going up. I mean, it's topped out. But she was saying it was taking a long time to go to full. And I went through the stats and reset all the stats, reset her trip meters. That helps too. So anyway, that should get everything back to normal. I think that update was probably the biggest thing. Now, why the update didn't get installed when the fuel pump recall was being done, I have no answer for that. Got so much stuff in the way, I didn't know how to wave. I had to take my hand off. Runs lovely. Ryker's always so much fun. Where's my boy Rick? I haven't seen him in a bit here. I'm sure he's out here floating around somewhere. Last year or year before, whatever, he said he was doing some dog sitting. That'd be something fun to do when you're retired and just kicking around. A couple of dollar bills in your pocket. Dogs are always fun. Remember, we used to babysit Cooper, my son Ryan's dog, all the time. And boy, Danny and them two had so. What are you're really cautious. You're waiting for a huge hole. You know, it's funny is when they first started bringing him over, Danny was bigger than Cooper, and you know, Danny finally got to his full size, and you just think in your mind they're the same size, and then we go visit Ryan and go, dang, Cooper's nowhere near as big as old goofy Danny there. Man, he's a good dog. But after 4th of July, you know, he's really afraid of, well, he thinks it's gunfire. He can't differentiate the difference between fireworks and gunfire. Well, ever since then, he won't take the walks down the road with Sasha and I. I've taken Annie with me a couple of times, but I can only do a walk with both of them around the yard because it triggers them both, and they go into full, you know, sled dog mode. They kind of feed off of each other. They get hyped up. Man, I took her all the way down to the end and back. Jeez, I was hurting after that. Not good for my back. That's some serious pulling. And then, you know, you can only stop them for a second or two. You know, tell them to stop. And, you know, everything's cool. They'll sit there and they look around, sniff and whatever, and say, okay, easy, easy, easy. And make it probably 5 feet, and then poof, full-fledged. I mean, we need to put them dogs on some sleds next time it snows. Must be that little bit of husky that's in them. I'm a turning, people. Yeah, that Gage, I mean, she just like almost immediately started going. They said they drove for quite a ways before it finally got up there. And then the fuel accuracy was really wrong, was all skewed. I'm almost positive part of that update was you know, fuel average and, you know, amount till empty type of thing. And I remember being something with fuel gauge. I need to find that bulletin so I can be quoting correctly. It's weird I couldn't find that thing. Whoa, wasn't expecting you to do a U-turn. You surprised me. Boy, in a hurry too. Always got to be cautious of bumper, you know, curb catchers up there, but I guess there are. I've ridden some Rykers. They got them big old cages up there, and they do snag. Now they come with them stock. Since what, 23, 24? The old cable, he's got 4 710 arrays all lined up there. That boy's doing some building today. I seen you dodge. Boom. Racing down the hill. Well, hello there, see the sky. As usual, you looking fine. So my next endeavor is to install the VCM on that F3. The amount of time for that thing scares me. I'm like, that seems like a lot of time, but it is. BRP's flying. You know, I had to even do the old classic double take. Is that right? You know, Rykers, they're just absolutely like a barrel of monkeys. But if you're looking for smooth, they're just not there. They're a little rough and raw. It's like riding an older Sportster or something, you know. Just everything shakes, buzzes, and bangs. Clutch engagement's a little wonky, and I just absolutely love the heck out of that demo I had in 2019. I wouldn't have traded that experience for nothing. So she's got the BRP link bag on the back. She added the little wind deflector things. I ended up doing that on ours, didn't I? Yeah, I did. Little caps on her wheels. A little Spyder. The Ryker Rally. And that's the BRP shad bag kit. Tell by their bracket and stuff. Interesting that they didn't put the passenger pegs on there, but she didn't have, I mean, the passenger seat clicks on just like you do this, but comfort seat on there that the Rallies came with. What a sweetheart. Well, I'm happy to see that the gauge is doing what it's supposed to. Fuel stats, what we got here. Oh, okay, so it says range 85 miles. But the weird thing about that range thing is how let's just get back to, you got to get that thing, because I reset everything, so now it's going to have to relearn. It's not until that bobber starts to float, when the fuel level gets that range, now it has some numbers to deal with. And that fuel gauge will stay full until it starts, the bobber starts to float. So that's one weird thing that freaks everybody out. As you're going along, you're like full, and all of a sudden, boom, you know, you're just above halfway. And you're going, what the heck? So I don't know if this update, but it's going to need some data. I've cleared all the data on it, so it needs to start off from new and see how she rides, and those stats will end up being accurate. Now, whether it'll use those stats to predict and slowly drop the bars, I don't know. Hopefully they do. I'll see if I can find that bulletin. But Ryker Rally, gotta love it. I like the little lipstick kiss there. Park brake off. Gas on and go. Man, that seat on these things are so comfortable. It's crazy. I don't know what that guy was doing in the van, but he wasn't looking at me. All of a sudden he looked up and he like yanked the wheel to the right. Gotta keep your eyeballs peeled, man. Crazy things can happen otherwise. Oh, look at that cloud up there. It looks like a great big mountain. See that down the road? I don't know if that shows up. Super view probably won't. But it looks like a great big old mountain peak. Well, appreciate you guys coming along for a rip on a 21 Ryker Rally. From here, we'll start tearing into VCM on a F3. Thanks for coming along for the rip. Fun times with VCMs. You know, these things are quite expensive. Oddly enough, you know, they're identical to like the ones in BMWs, but why are these like half the price or less? Yeah, considerably less. Anyway, she shoehorned in there. I've taken a bunch of plastic out to get it out of the way. The fun part is you gotta get all those lines disconnected. There's 6 of them going in there. Gonna make sure everything's clean. Tells you to blow that out really good with air. Blow everything around it. Because, you know, you got like dust and stuff. You need to get all that out. Even comes with it. There's a grommet at the bottom that thing locks into, and they give you a new one. But this is the pump itself, and then this is the brain, and then there's all kinds of things that, you know, decide what goes when, where, and however. Little pistons and goofy things, all kinds of stuff that goes on in here. It's all capped off, but I'm gonna still get it out of the way. I don't want to blow any dirt at contacts or anything like that. And getting that thing out of that boot, that sucker is in there. You'll swear it's not coming out. If you can see all the lines. I don't know what this thing's focusing on. Probably not what I'm pointing at. There's the big coupler. Man, that is not fun. You got the tie rods going right across the way. Yeah, not fun. Well, we'll take her away. I got, you know, the little water shield and everything out of the way, just so you can get your hands in there. And there's plates that go up underneath there. I took all those out of there. I want to say this one comes out of here pretty easy too. This plate in here, I don't see what's holding it. Maybe it's just grommets, who knows? Could get lucky. Maybe it is. Oh no, there's bolts in there. Get that out of the way just in case. That'll help, you know, to get my hand down through the back side of the upper A-arm so I get in there with wrenches and spin those hoses loose. And then you do a serious oil flush on this, or a brake fluid flush, because that pump's dry, so you're starting from scratch. And I'll need all three phases of that thing to run. It's only the right front that would actuate the pump. The left front and the rear, it just did nothing. It just sat there and it just spun. And it kicked up an error code. But anyway, let's get her done. Clicking away here. Kind of a dark hole right here. I'll get my little lights that'll magnetically stick to the counter and light things up. Dive in there. Gonna do some cleaning here first. Gonna wrap up that coupler. Just stuff it in a bag or something to keep any debris getting to it, because it's the female side. The male side, obviously you can see it and clean it, you know. The female side, you get blowing stuff around, you can actually push something down in one of those pinholes, and yeah, you'll be scratching your head trying to figure out what's going on. And those pins, as you see, are small. There's a lot of them. All right, let's get to her. Well, she's pretty much sucked dry. I found, and getting towards the end of the day, I'll stop, but this one brake line, if you can see the red power wire, I think that's going to the starter motor itself. It's wrapped around one of the brake hoses. So luckily, as you can see, the light there, pull the front tub and the battery out, and I can get to it. I can just release that cable from the relay and knock her out. A little pan, you suck the cups dry and hook up to the main bolt for the VCM, and just start hearing everything sucked dry. I mean, there's still stuff in the lines going to the front wheels and the rear wheel, but yeah, she's void of brake fluid. That's why I say you're gonna go full stop, full flush. It does leave a nice little light there when you add some light in there, and you can get to some of the hoses a little, or I guess you can call them hoses, the brake pipes at the VCM. You get to them through the past the battery. There's the battery. Battery looks brand new. So I think I've noticed that when he was here last. The battery's in perfect shape, so he probably just bought it and brought it in. Maybe I don't remember installing the battery. Maybe I did. But anyway, we're going to bring her back to life. get a VCM in there, get her flushing, get all the crazy codes that thing's throwing off out of there, and enjoy the rest of his summer. I think he's pretty mad at it because this isn't a cheap repair. I don't know if he's the original owner or not, but yeah, some simple brake flushes, you won't have any of these issues. It's not that hard to do. I mean, you can just simply do a flush, you know, without doing the pump. At least do something, get fluid going through it, and then, you know, maybe if you bring it in for the big service, just have them, you know, run the pump for you. Whatever, buy buds through wherever you can buy it yourself, you know. Anyway, that's going to about wrap it here. I don't think I've ever done a VCM on an F3. I've done them on RTs. You just take the whole front tub off, and there's the VCM. Well, it's still not easy to get to, but the VCM's just staring you right in the face. But this is a whole lot different ordeal. But, you know, having the battery out, that makes a big difference. Just kind of bend over and reach through the hole. But anyway, I think on that, I'm going to roll with you. We'll see you way up north in Toledo land. Well, hello there, you two. About 81 or so, somewhere around there.
Yeah.
It's comfortable. The humidity must be low or something. The breeze feels comfortable.
It's nice here in the shade.
Yeah, sitting there in the shade of the grape tree.
grapevine.
Yeah. But yeah, it was a good day at work. Kelly wasn't too crazy busy.
Yeah.
She said, just steady.
Yeah, it was
Not
nice.
chaotic.
It was good.
I had fun down the service side. That VCM's a little bit of a tackle, but that's all right. Busy work keeps you busy. But anyway, I think on that, we're going to conclude today.
Alrighty, well, thank you guys so much for watching. We really do appreciate it. We will talk to you tomorrow. Same smoke time, same smoke channel. Don't forget to give a thumbs up, and you guys have a wonderful Wednesday or Thursday.
Heck yeah. All right. We'll
We'll
see you in the morning.
morning.
Thanks for watching now. Bye-bye.